Hello, everybody. Welcome to Conspiracy in Real Time, the greatest show on earth. I am your medicated and unregulated host, Joshua Stonecutter. That is medicated on marijuana, as is tradition. I don't want you to think I'm all whacked out on benzos or amphetamines or something like that, because I am not. There was a time, but it's going to be a short episode, you guys. I am beat. I am super beat. I've been up since I think 5:30 or 6 o'clock this morning. It's around 10 o'clock at night. I've driven around 150, 200 miles. I collected over 100 signatures today, and I did a turn-in. So, big day, long day. Gonna go over the tracks. Here we have Red Ant Records. Now, this is owned, I believe, by, yeah. Oh, I didn't even know this. I actually know the person that made this track. Okay, so side A is Bones and Westerman. That's Boyd Westerman. I used to DJ with Boyd Westerman all the time. And the next one is Pete Bones, the Reflex. Pete Bones, he was known as Pete the Shaker Bones. Pete Bones used to play at Simon's all the time. I actually thought he was a resident there. He may have had a residency there. I don't know. But he owned Red Ant Records. Red Ant Records, booming, awesome. And then here we have a sneaky little son of a bitch. Oliver Lib did this track, and this is Spice Lab 2000. Testified. I've never even heard this track, but Oliver Lib, it's got Oliver Lib's name on it, so you know it's gonna be good. Oliver Lib. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm tired, you guys. I'm like feeling real punchy. Hopefully this doesn't turn into like a long episode where I'm just rambling. But anyways, we're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about one subject. Okay, the subject is going to be false pride, and I did a show on this already, but it got deleted, I believe. So we're kind of retouch on this subject. It's usually, this subject is better for me to talk about when I'm in a bad mood. So we'll see how it goes right now, because I'm actually in a really good mood. I'm that kind of tired that you get, that you can. I have that feeling right now that you can only get after like a long, full blown long day of work, like, or a long day of doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like a feeling of accomplishment. Do you see? We'll see what tomorrow holds. Every day's different. Today was a really long day, but man, I made it through. You know what I'm saying? I didn't let any of these SS gang stalker pieces of crap bother me. I didn't let any of them bother me today. All right, let's talk about false pride, you guys, because this is the deal. All right, these people are a bunch of sellouts. They are selling us all out. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I believe that these people know where bodies are buried, and I do believe that they are processing people at this point. They're processing them for their red velvet or their essence or whatever you want to call it. So, like, when these people come walking along down the streets, and they're all proud and boisterous, ho, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like, I've got all this money, and look at this woman that I have with me. And, like, the town I'm working in, man, they're traipsing by with their kids. And so, like, a lot of these people, these are not parents. Okay, these aren't just parents walking by me and like interacting with me. These are PEDs, okay, with their victims. And some of them take time because they know who I am, because just to be clear, I am being targeted by these people. So like today, for instance, there was a woman, or it was like an older guy with like a Mickey Mouse backpack on, and like he like took his time to talk to me and say some crap, but like I could tell from the moment he opened his mouth, or like from the moment I asked him to sign a petition, that he was just an a-hole. So like, but as he's walking away, I was like, oh, that's why he had all that extra snarkiness, because he knows who I am. These people, it's so, this is the irony, you guys, this part I absolutely love. Okay. I mean, this is hilarious, okay? These people, the SS, the PEDs, right? They have made me famous. I'm serious. They have made me famous amongst themselves. I'm like, I swear to God, you guys, I am like the biggest underground famous person ever. Like, underground, meaning literally under the ground. Like the people that know about me are literally under the ground. Now, I don't know if if they're like, if it's part of their cult. You see, I think that there's like 10 to 20 different explanations as to why somebody might take time out of their day to F with somebody who is a targeted individual. You know, you'd have to ask each one of them, each one of the perps, why it is that they do it. Do you see what I'm saying? Because people always ask, why do they do this? And I think there's a cornucopia of reasons. You know, they might have associations with my family or my father. I'm starting to think that my family or the person I call my father, like, I'm starting to think that, like, it's possible that they had something to do with the creation of Tor browsers and things like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, my dad was a programmer. He was a programmer. He was probably a master programmer. And I believe what was happening to me at my house growing up, I believe that they were tweaking and perfecting and working on MK Ultra mind control stuff. They were tweaking it. It was further experimentation. I think that, like, a lot of the techniques that people are using in their homes every day today, on a daily basis today, when it comes to psychological manipulation and mind control, I think a lot of that stuff is coming from research that's going down in families like the one that I grew up in. So, like, if you're a parent to a child like me, or you're a guardian to a person like me, you may not walk around prideful. You may walk around looking like somebody who has pride. You know what I'm saying? But you do not have pride. You people are absolutely insane. Like, absolutely insane. For starters, a lot of you are complete and total sellouts. Like, there's this one perp who's, like, I believe still active military, who is in Flagler County, who, like, has, like, taken time out of his life to mess with me. You know what I mean? He even, like, when I was, like, running low on money, he even told me that he was like, yeah, man, I got you, bro. I'll loan you money. I got you. I was like, cool, man. I need to borrow like $300. He's like, yeah, no problem. And then just stood me up. They're constantly trying to push buttons, and they're constantly trying to get people to go over the edge. These school shooters and stuff, they're getting group stalked. Let me just be very clear about that. These school shooters and all this school shooting stuff, these kids are getting group stalked. They're getting gang stalked. Okay? And it's happening from their peers at school. Their own parents could even be involved. That's how crazy this is. And the reason I say that is because my own family, it looks like they're involved. Something's wrong. Okay? Something's wrong right now in some of these cities in America. There's no music, you guys. Like, I'm saying this because I'm in these cities. I'm walking around in these cities. I'm driving around in these cities. And once a week, I'm either in Orlando, Tampa, or Jacksonville. That's in addition to all the places that I work. You guys, something isn't right. There's not music playing like there usually is. There's not music floating out of the houses. There's not laughter. There's not lights on and families having festive dinners. And do you see what I'm saying? I'll see gatherings where I see cars at people's houses, but I don't see anything in the front yard or the backyard. Now keep in mind that I am in a older, more vacation retirement type community, but I'm not talking about my community. Okay, I am talking about my community, but in addition to my community, I'm talking about other communities like Gainesville, where I just was for like 4 or 5 months, delivering pizzas. Okay, so, like, let me give you an example. And I'll tell you why this is tied in with false pride, because all of our politicians and everybody, and even the people in the SS, are, like, thinking that everything is going along as planned, which it is, and this is all a good thing. But I'm witnessing it with my own eyes, and I'm telling you, something just kind of sucks, man. Something sucks about this. And some of the things that suck is that I'm not hearing any music. I'm not hearing any laughter. Like, and when I'm working, you guys, I've legit have SS doing, like, false flag, like jovial sessions in front of me, like pretending like they're laughing and having fun with their families. What is that? I'm not making this stuff up. If you don't believe me, come on down to Florida, man. I'm selling tickets to my life right now. I'm serious. And they're not cheap because I make money on my own working. So if you want to come follow me around, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. You're going to have a real desire to like know the truth and like see some UFO stuff. I'll show you all this stuff, man. I'll show you where the portals are. Come on. Okay, so like, let me ask you guys a question. Who makes Travis Scott's beats and his final edits? Because it's not Travis Scott. I watched his documentary on Netflix, you guys. All right, talk about false pride. And let's keep in mind that there is a slim chance, although I don't think I'm just going to play devil's advocate, probably literally here. But like, there's a slim chance that Travis Scott is just being taken advantage of and stuff. Like, if I was on the rise as a musician and I didn't know anything about the occult, then I wouldn't think too much about riding in on a phoenix and all this eye stuff and everything. And like, do you see what I'm saying? But I don't think that's the case. Travis Scott has kids. I believe he's in the SS full blown. He's full blown in the SS. He had that concert. And check this out. I watched the Netflix documentary about Travis Scott, right? And in the documentary, anytime anything went wrong in the crowd, he stopped the show and like helped out the audience. Or that's what they showed in the documentary. It was almost as if they wanted us to know that like what he did in Austin, Texas was intentional, you know? Because just to be clear, that was 100% intentional. And I don't think anything happened to those people at the concert. Like, the witness, go back and watch the tapes, watch the witnesses. They even say, look, the paramedics just jumped on these people and just started doing CPR and stuff. Look, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think these people died at the concert at all. I think that they were anesthetized, like I was when I was a kid. I think they were anesthetized, and then I think that they were carted off somewhere to be processed, where they took their red velvet from them, their very essence, like in the Dark Crystal. But this is my point. Who makes Travis Scott's beats and final edits? It's not Travis Scott. I watched the documentary. It's like this cigarette smoking white dude who's probably in the SS, which is fine. My point is this though. Like, he's sitting there, all he does is like, checks over stripes, paid the price. You know what I'm saying? That's all he's saying. It's not, and the time, come on, it's really not that, there's really nothing that great about it, except for the timing and the beat and everything. It's boom, it's awesome. Made it right. You know what I mean? Checks over stripes. Checks over stripes is a reference to the white and black. It's a reference to the SS. It's a reference to the occult. So open up your eyes, people. But my point is this. He's walking around with all this pride, right? Oh yeah, I'm Travis Scott. I'm the man. And I'm going to go up on stage. And by the way, it's just him up there. It's somebody like literally pressing one button, play. Somebody presses play and the music plays. And then Travis Scott does his thing and everybody's like, oh, you're the man, you're the man. It's ridiculous. That's false pride right there. Like, that guy he doesn't really have that much to be proud of. Do you see what I'm saying? He knows that the entire black community is being completely sold out and like literally slaughtered right now. He knows that the black community is being slaughtered and it's all being done under the guise of the virus. Do you think it's just a coincidence that the virus affected black people and Latino people? By affected, what that means is they got drug off somewhere and processed. By the way, anybody in Texas, anybody near Texas, where are all the Spanish, where are all these Mexican people that are pouring into the country? Like, come on, people, use your heads here. And all these people that are on the whole QAnon thing and everything, you guys look at the avatar. If you're watching this on BitChute, and I encourage you to check me out on BitChute, look at the image that I used for the avatar for this video. That is from the eye of a statue, right? That is over 100 years old. This stuff has been around forever. I don't know what made me think about that all of a sudden. Okay, so politicians. They know all these politicians. Do you think Travis Scott with this whole thing about the portal. If it weren't for Travis Scott and his little incident in Austin, I would not be sitting here talking about underground portals right now. I'd be talking about PED stuff. And I do talk about PED stuff. But this is the thing, you guys. I can tell from the architecture of a house or a building if there is either PED stuff or portal stuff going on inside. I won't be able to tell which, and it's probably both. But like, I don't know how it works. I don't know the extent of it. But like, you guys, they are getting around underneath the ground, and I can prove it. I can prove it. I can prove it. I can prove it. I don't really know how else to put it to you. I can prove it. I can prove it. I can prove it. Or I can show like overwhelming evidence pointing towards the fact that like, yes, there are people going like really far down underneath the ground, and there's weird crafts flying around off of our coast, and there's weird lights underneath the water too. Come on, man. This is what's going on, you guys. This is what I believe. And I could be wrong, okay? But like, this is what I believe. Because one of the reasons that I was able to find these quote UFOs or whatever they are, because I'm too far away to see what they are, but they're not flying like airplanes. They're not behaving like airplanes, and they're not blinking like airplanes, right? It's because I have that. I don't want to give away too much, but it's because I went through the effort of using a bug detector to find out more about the tracking device that I have in my car. Because I have an old car. It's like a 99 or 2000. There's no GPS in it. There's no low jack in it. But there's some kind of tracking device that alerts in certain parts of the state. Well, I figured out why they are alerting when you're there. You see, I don't think this device that I have in my car, I don't think it's just in my car. I think it's in a lot of people's cars. And I think what the deal is that I think these UFOs, I think they're flying around fully visible at certain times of the day in certain parts of the country. You better believe it. Because they actually have enough stuff together now to where they can tell who is inside their house and outside their house, and they can tell if there are any eyes pointed up in whatever direction. One of the things that's happened recently when I've seen these things, one of them got really close to me, you guys. And it must have fired up like infrared or something like that. Because all of a sudden, this craft that was like slowly going towards me and moving from side to side and stuff, suddenly it just backed away. And then all of a sudden the whole thing starts blinking. And then after all of that, it begins to behave like an airplane, and it looks like an airplane. All of a sudden, it's got the two lights on the side. And this wasn't me seeing stuff. It wasn't like me tripping out. You know, anybody can go witness this. Like, and I believe that I'm right. I think that what's going on is they are, if you're in the SS, there are parts of this country where there is nothing but people in the SS. And if you're in a part of the country where there's nothing but people in the SS, then of course you can have these crafts flying around. Nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to call and report them or whatever. They know not to. So that's kind of like, I believe, what I've stumbled upon. I believe so. Because look, this whole portal thing is happening like virtually in the wide open, man. Like, you'd have to be stupid not to like figure it out. Once you know the stuff that I know, and once you see the things that I've seen, you'd have to be like pretty much just dumb not to figure it out. I mean, really, really stupid. The stuff about the crafts, you know, in Florida off the coast is something else entirely, but I am convinced they are connected because I believe they're getting into these cities underneath the ground through the water. That's why there's blinking lights under the water. That's why there's weird crafts. And think about this, you guys. Once you have a craft like that at your disposal, or once you know where you can go to see one and you're going to know like what it's doing, how it's flying, think about all the lies and the gaslighting that you can get other people with. Like, oh yeah, bro, no. Like, I actually am in communication with aliens. I'll show you the spaceships. Then you take them to see the spaceships. You're like, guess what, man? We're actually getting off planet. We're getting off planet, and if you want in on this, I'm not gonna lie, it's, $30 million per ticket. Do you see what I'm saying? And then these people like pay all this. I mean, I'm just making this stuff up in my head, but like, I know Florida, and I know scams, and I know scam artists, and like, I know, you know what I'm saying? I know old people. And it just wouldn't surprise me at all if there's many, many different levels to this. Like, if there's like levels of people that full blown, think that their relatives are in communication with aliens and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is that I think it's just like military families and like high ranking elites traveling around in these things is what it is. I think if you have enough money, you can get one. But like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, all those people, I think they know all about it. You see, that's what I think I've stumbled upon, you guys. Is not like, it looks like the majority of the people that I'm finding already know about this stuff. Do you see? So if you're in the military and you know about these crafts and you know that people are traveling around underneath the earth in elevators and these like high-speed rails and stuff, and then you know that your fellow soldiers were like used and abused for whatever purpose. Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe even just killed for the sake of saying that they died in battle, which I don't believe. I think they're processing the bodies. That's what I think. I think they're processing the bodies. But like, if you're in the military or you're like a colonel or a general or whatever, or were a general, and you have knowledge of all this stuff, and you're walking around with pride, what are you proud of, man? Well, like, it looks like they're genociding people. That's what it looks like. It looks like they're genociding people, and it looks like our population is people are disappearing right in front of our eyes. What are you proud of? You know what I'm saying? All right, so that goes in for politicians and the police as well, because all the sheriffs I've talked to about any of this kind of stuff, they know all about it. They know all about it. And when I say this stuff, I mean the PED stuff, because the PED stuff is a cover. Believe it or not, you guys, the PED stuff is a cover. It's a cover for the portals. It's a cover for the portals. So this is my question, and this is a real question. This is a very serious question. What are they scared of? Because they're scared of something. They are. I can tell. I can see it in their eyes. I can feel it. They are. They're scared of something. What though? I don't know. I really don't know, because it looks like the higher ups who have a lot of knowledge are probably participating in the red velvet stuff. And it wouldn't surprise me if all these blood sacrifices and things like that at the pyramids were to actually feed some creature that was underneath the ground. That would totally match up with what I'm seeing in these cities. Okay, this is what I saw today, you guys. Let me tell you what I saw today, and I'll try to end with this. This is what I saw today. Like 40 people coming out of the same little cafe. 40 people exiting a cafe that holds like, I don't know, 15 people. Come on, man. And it's funny because like, you guys, they have a whole system down. Like in the city that I've been working in, they have a whole system down wherein they get fake homeless people to come and watch the entrances to these portal locations, and they give signals. I think they're mic'd up, man. I think they're like, there's something underneath the skin or something like that. I believe so. It's either that or it's all being done with the hand signals. I don't know which. But I'm seeing it with my own eyes. And something isn't right when you see like 40 people come out of a building that only holds 15 people. Oh, also, here's the other thing that I've seen over the last week. I've seen people come walking out of businesses that aren't even open yet. Oh yeah. It's like, I don't know, 8:15 in the morning. The business doesn't open till 10, right? And then like 2 people just come out. Oh, keep going. And then here's another one. People go into a business that isn't open yet. And then when I walk by it like 15 minutes later, there's nobody in there. Nothing. So yeah, man, like all these people like that are walking around like, oh yeah, I'm super proud of what I've done. Like, you guys are all lying to us. I don't know about what exactly. I don't know the extent of it, but let's start with this. There is something going on underneath the ground, and I can prove it. I can prove it. You give me like an FBI agent and a beat cop and like, a Netflix documentary crew and like forget about it. That's why they have me shadow banned. Like if people actually heard me talk, there would be pandemonium. Finally. I mean, when I say finally, I mean like finally, like I'm armed with enough truth. Do you see what I'm saying? To actually like, I don't want to say fight back because that's not right, but like hold my own ground in this thing. Because this is the game. Do you see what I'm saying? To them, this is a game. And for whatever the reason, I have not been marked for execution. I have not been slated for, termination. I think they might even be using me as like a tool to like Disrupticon 2021, 2020, 2021, 2022. Welcome to the underground. This is the underground. Welcome to the underground. This is the underground. It was always, look, it was all about the underground. I think that I may have even gone to an underground club. Okay, I went to an underground club in New York. I just don't know if it was connected to the underground. It probably was, you guys, because I walked into this club and there was like this bar, there was a DJ playing, and like we were standing there for like 15, 20 minutes, and it was like cool. And I was like thinking in my head, please tell me this is not what my friend Polly kept telling me about. Because my friend Polly was like, man, this club is like off the chain and it's like an underground club. And, there's no advertisements for it. It was called Love. That's the name of the club, and you can check it. It's a real place. It was called Love, and it was in New York City. And this is back post 9/11. This is like 2004, 2005. I went to Love. But it was, so you had to walk down through these stairs and through these doors. It was like the opening scene of Blade. Or is that the name of that movie, Blade? Yeah. It was like the opening scene of Blade, like minus like with like more people, less light, and no blood raining down from the ceiling. I mean, it was like that, right? Where you walk through all this weird stuff, you kept going down. We were down like 2 stories underneath the ground, 3 stories underneath the ground, some basement or something. So and my friend Polly was saying a lot of famous people would go there. Like she would see Leonardo DiCaprio there and stuff, and it was like it wasn't like a flashy place. It was like full blown, just blacked out rave club, man. And it had so much sound in there, and I'll never forget. It had wooden floors. Oh, it was awesome. That was like between Love in New York and Simon's in Gainesville. Those are like the 2 best clubs I ever went to, or Simon's in Gainesville and Love in New York. But anyways, I don't know what got me talking about that. I I love big bass. I love good techno. Anyways, it's a really good question, you guys. What is it that they're scared of? Because this is my question that I have for them. I'm going to be talking to them soon. I'm going to be like confronting these people in a very real way in the very near future, right? But what was I gonna say? Oh crap! I lost my train of thought. I hate that too, because like when I'm watching my videos afterwards, I'm like, why did you lose your train of thought? It was so obvious what you were saying. Now I completely forgot it because I started talking about something else. But I was talking about what is it that they're so scared of. That was the topic that was what I was trying to close with. Because they are, and I know I already said this, but like they are scared of something. They are scared of something. I've even wondered, you guys, and this is okay. So this is a big question that I have for my folks, if they'll ever even answer it honestly. I want to know if I surprised my mother and father when I accepted God and became a Christian. I want to know if that was like a surprise and a shocker for them, or if it was not. Because like part of me is starting to think that like they did raise me in this hokey sort of environment, and then I wanted to become a Christian. They were like, what in the world? But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it was much more sick than that. I think that they did encourage me to do that, and they did like gaslight me and stuff to like, you know, do that. But I think for them, I think that like for the people that are doing the abuse and the people that were abusing me, right? I think that it was that much better for them, and they enjoyed it that much more to be abusing somebody who was a real genuine Christian. That's what my gut is telling me, you guys. Sadly. Now, I don't know what the truth is. Hopefully I'll find out. This is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that I surprised my parents and that I've been like this, like, you know, kind of like double agent unknowingly this whole time, right? I don't think that's the case. I think that they lied to me and they gaslighted me because they wanted some. It's hard for me to say this without like busting into tears, man. Like I think that they wanted a Christian specifically to abuse, you guys. I think that was it. I think that was it. If they got you with the QAnon thing, look at every single person that you call a friend, because you probably don't have any. They're probably all lying to you. If you're in a relationship, the woman, or it's probably a woman, but the person you're in a relationship with is probably in the SS. Okay? Things are not good in this country right now. And the scary thing is I'm trying to warn and tell my fellow Floridians and fellow Americans about this, and they just have me shadow banned, shoved in a broom closet. I'm not sitting here trying to say, like, talk to them about, like, oh, there's, you know, just repeating all this insanity from the internet. There's people, I see these videos on BitChute, and I can't even watch them, you guys. Like, I don't know what the deal is with the X22 report, but I might start targeting them because they're like really well known. And like anybody that's supporting QAnon, I'll rip them to shreds in a very real way. Because I'm telling you, this PED stuff has been around for a long, long time. And the mind control stuff has been as well. The mind control stuff has been around way longer than MK Ultra. It's been around like since the time of the Egyptians, you guys. All right, and if you're on BitChute, look at the thumbnail for this video. That's from a very old statue, and it's scary. You would never believe where that symbol is hidden, you guys. That PED symbol is hidden where I found it. I'll try to put it as my thumbnail on YouTube as well. I can't believe I talked this much. I'm exhausted, man. I'm gonna end this and I'm gonna upload it, and it's gonna finish uploading while I'm asleep. You know, because I got to wake up tomorrow and try to do this all again somehow, in some way, you know. I'm doing it, though, you guys. Again, I had a great day. Thank you to my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. We got some new subs on BitChute. They have me totally shadow banned on YouTube, man. I haven't gotten any new subscribers on YouTube in like 4 or 5 days. So please go to my YouTube and subscribe as well. Conspiracy in Real Time on YouTube. All right, peace.